Hello everyone and happy Sunday. Welcome into today's video. Before I dive into these trays of antique stick pins, I want to thank 2,228 new subscribers to my family. I woke up this morning to that graph and I thought, boy, I'm still doing it right. I'm keeping it honest. I'm keeping it real. I'm staying in my lane and I'm staying out of drama on YouTube. So I want to thank you all so much for keeping my channel safe and positive, and welcome in to all of you. If you could each do me a favor and tell one person about my channel, I don't care who it is, as long as they are kind and ready to learn, I so welcome them in to my YouTube channel. And again, thank you so much. I also looked at my view count. I'm at 2.3 million views. 2.3 million views, and you know what that means? I haven't bought a single subscriber since I've started. I've worked tirelessly, and I so want to thank each and every one of you again for getting me to another milestone of 2.3 million views. Also, if I seem a little panicked today, or more so than ever, it's because I have 13 eBay orders in 24 hours, and just before I hit the record for this, I had an additional 2 offers on my items. My friend Gail saw me the other day and she said, I looked at your eBay. You're down to under 400 listings. I haven't seen that in years. And I said, it's because I'm one person doing all of this. I'm one person running my eBay. I'm one person running my YouTube channel. I'm one person cleaning my house. You know, it all falls on me. So I thank each and every one of you for sometimes when I seem a little animated or a little irritated, it's because sometimes I'm tired, and I just thank all of you for understanding. Today's jewelry of choice, the J-Bow ring that I made a long time ago, a very simple cuff bracelet, a Bakelite ring that I created out of rod stock that I absolutely love. I love large and oversized. If you're gonna wear it big and wear it well. A diamond band and my everyday cuff bracelet. On to what we're here to talk about. Ooh, and before I forget, a sneak peek for coming videos, a little teaser. This is sterling silver, Egyptian revival, mechanical pencil. When you pull on this mechanism here, a pencil comes out of the foot of that statue. Look at that for an enameled mummy case. Absolutely exceptional. Very cool. And on this really long sterling chain that I just got tangled in stick pins. So anyways, there we go. Let's move that out of the way. That'll come to another video. And then what's in this box? And why I brought this on is I had talked about this in a past video, but I don't think I ever showed it. So this is a sneak peek as well. This had been with me for over 28 years now. And this is absolutely gorgeous. It is turquoise, pearl, and little diamonds. And I'll bring this back on, and it has a mechanism that turns this into a brooch. And that mechanism is down inside of this pouch. So I wanted to show that for anyone who's interested in very early Victorian jewelry. I have quite the collection. I'll be bringing on more pieces out of the collection. You know that in my videos, I've only shown you a tip of the iceberg. Oh, and then these. Look what I just picked up, another stack. A lucky 7. I picked up another stack of Bakelite spacer bracelets. And I loved the color saturation. And look at that with my ring. Can you imagine how cool that would be for your color story to have on a massive Bakelite ring and awesome bangle bracelets? All right, those just came in and I was super excited. They were $3 each because the person didn't know that they were Bakelite. And one final thing before we get the show on the road, please go over to Bully Run Coffee and please hit the subscribe. This is where I host my sales. We usually do them on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Jeremy's channel, and it's just an extension of my channel where I choose to sell, and he is going to start to create his own content on his coffee business and also his Viking glass collection. These stick pins here I'd shown before in a video over a year ago, and I have added about 30 stick pins. Why I want you to focus on this video is there is a tremendous amount of money in antique stick pins years ago, decades ago, they were not selling very well. They weren't as desirable as they are now, and oh, are they getting harder to find. So there's 3 trays here. There's that one, and then there's that one. So there's 3 trays. However, I want you to stay tuned because in a year, right? I want you to think about this. In a year of my constant buying every day, getting phone calls, getting consignments, working at auction facilities, and running estate sales, these are ones that just came in over a year. All right. So I want you to think about this. This bag, since that initial airing of that last video, and I'm not done. There's 2 more bags off camera. We are never going to physically get through every single pin in this video, but what I do want to show you off screen is this one, and this one, and this one. And you can probably already tell what we're going to talk about here. You can already see it. And it's very obvious. The clutch system on stick pins. This is early. This is newer, and this is the newest, right? This is Victorian, so when you pull on this little ball, that slides down. When you let up, it locks in place. So you cannot remove that, right? So the way I got that off is I squeeze that little ball. See the little plunger there? That little plunger mechanism right there? I almost need a sound effect like I don't know what happens sometimes in my video, but there you go. There's a Jasonism for you. I technically guess I'm going to call these ERTs. So anyways, when you pull on the plunger, you can remove that. When you leave it there, look, it locks in place because there's a collar on the inside with that spring mechanism. That is a stick pin clutch. This is also a stick pin clutch and slightly newer, but works the same. You pull on this mechanism and that slides down. Once you stop pulling on it, it's fixed in place. And then this one is the newest, and we all are familiar with these, or most of us are. See how there's like that silicone on the inside or that rubber that's poured on the inside of that? So there you go. And these 3 stick pins are all Victorian. That's an enameled love knot. Now, also look for hallmarks on the pin stems right there. That one's 14 karat gold. A lot of times, thrift stores, consignment shops, even pawn shops, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, the people and the sellers will miss that little gold hallmark there. So always look for marking systems. Look at that bulldog. That's the way I woke up yesterday before I did yesterday's video. That was my face yesterday. Really just sort of pissed off about nothing. That bulldog, though, with the little garnet eyes and sterling, I love that one. I love that stick pin. And this for a pearl, absolutely gorgeous. All right, so that's why I brought those on, is to show you the stick pin clutch mechanisms. I hope that clears that up as well. We'll get into these bags. I'll leave them off camera. Oh, and then there's these, because of course I couldn't stop with just bags full. So there's a natural gold ore. Absolutely very rare specimen in 14 karat gold, a real scarab beetle, and they did a lot of beetle jewelry back in the Victorian times, and that one is mounted in gold as well. And a sterling silver arts and crafts, a cameo, and that little kind of California gold coin, if you will. Anyways, so there's some more stick pins. We'll set those over here. And I guess my point is I just go crazy. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do that I didn't do in the last video is go a little bit slower. I can't possibly bring on every single one, but the front view lion, that one, let me make sure I tell you. Yes, that one is in solid 14 karat gold. Let's go years ago price on this one, and let's learn as we go here what's happened with the values. Garnet eyes, diamond mouth, 14 karat gold. That one years ago would have been around 65 to 95 years ago pricing, right? Just not as desirable. Now, if you see this one, 185 to 225, maybe 245 at a retail sale. Check eBay and look at the prices of stick pins on eBay. They are through the roof. If you look at eBay and then you come back to this video and you look at my trays, you're going to say, Jason, this tray alone could be around $10,000 to $15,000. because of what's on here. And I would say, yeah, you are right. You are doing your research that you need to do. If you go to yard sales, a lot of times you'll find such stick pins for 50 cents still, $1, $3, $4. I can't tell you how many times I still find them locally not revered and not thought about. Look how many I have. And I have, now I have 9 more trays for a total of 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 trays full of stick pins and a mixture of eras. But think about this as well. Why are they now desirable? Well, they're miniatures. They're small. You can store a lot of them. They're instantaneously a collection. They feature tons of different gemstones. And their advantage is this. Think about this logically. They cover from Victorian times, sometimes Georgian, like a single piece will be converted Georgian into a stick pin in the Victorian times, could be earlier. Could be a relic that was older that we'll see in a little bit. There's an arrowhead that's an ancient arrowhead, and they put it into a stick pin in the Victorian times. Anyways, so you go from Victorian through the 1950s. So think about this. If you love Victorian, stick pins. If you love Art Nouveau, stick pins. If you love Art Deco, stick pins. If you love retro, you can find a retro stick pin. So like this one, that's retro. That's 1940s, 1950s, gold with rubies. So what I'm saying is, they cover so many different eras and so many different design sensitivities. I've kind of stalled out in the show and tell. Let's get into this. This one's diamonds and seed pearls, garnets, Mississippi River pearls. I could talk about Mississippi River pearls for a 2-hour lecture series. I have so many of them. And I will tell you for sure, that is Mississippi River. This one is as well. This one's 100% Mississippi River. So is this one, this elongated shape. Some people have asked me to do a video on pearls. I absolutely am going to. I'm going to do the Jason version. I'm going to bring on my examples and I'm going to show you and tell you where the pearls come from and what makes them unusual or desirable. We'll talk about color. We'll talk about shape. We'll talk about natural versus cultured. We'll talk about luster. So we'll talk about many things, calcium deposits, sometimes the black marks that form in Mississippi River pearls. Also, when you notice the shape, that's because they form in different areas of the shell. That's because they form in different areas. And when they get closer to like that heel part of the shell, that's where they go more Baroque. When they're towards the lip of the shell, that's where they go more flattened and elliptical. That's widely known in the gemological collecting world, but I will show you my examples as we go. I've always learned by seeing. I've never learned by someone lecturing me or talking at me. I hope you never feel like that happens in my videos. Let's get into some of the gemstones. Sapphire and diamond. Opal. Let's focus on that. Carved amethyst intaglio cameo, and I say intaglio. Now, people in Italy and a lot of people in the UK say intaglio. They don't pronounce the G. I live in Ohio in a cornfield, so I say intaglio. Deal with it. So this one is synthetic corundum. That one's synthetic sapphire. That one's enamel. We won't talk about that yet. Garnet. That one is a piece of glass. Almost in that sense of dragon's breath. Almost there for dragon's breath, but that light blue, almost opalescent in that dragon's breath. Absolutely a rare stone. Rare glass, I should say. Enamel on 14 karat gold. And look at the conversation between this and all gold with that kind of Arab or Egyptian style headdress. 14 karat gold, and look at her face. 14 karat gold. Absolutely exquisite 14 karat gold and Limoges enamel. See, I get distracted. I was supposed to stay on gemstones. Amethyst, glass, amethyst, sapphire. Could be Yogo Gulch. Could be from Montana. Could be Yogo Gulch sapphire. Not sure on this. I'm not going to comment yet. I believe natural coral. That one is a button coral, amethyst, aquamarine, bezel set European cut diamond. Calibrate cut sapphire, almost like a deco propeller off of a plane. Look how streamlined. So we go from this curvilinear Edwardian to Art Deco. See, when someone sees this without this, they go, oh no, he's wrong. That's not Edwardian. That's Art Deco. No, no, no. The shape of the stone starts to get very Deco. This kind of scrolled and foliate stays more, shall you say, lacy. Very pretty. 1915, 1918, Edwardian. Transitional into streamline Art Deco. 1925, 1930, starting to go retro. Starting, not there yet. Bezel set European cut diamond. Value. Let's get back to values. Let's say today's value. 50 to 60. 60 to 70. Oh, the sword with the seed pearl handles and that eagle head at the handle with this enameled hilt and enameled handle. 14 karat or 10 karat gold. That one's 200. 185 to 200. This one, 14 karat gold, amethyst. 85 to 95. This one, Edwardian with that beautiful sapphire and that fancy cut. I would say on that one, 125, 135. Brass, but an unusual pilot with these rhinestone goggles. That one, because it's whimsical and unusual. If you find a pilot, you're in the driver's seat. No pun intended. That one, because it's brass and costume, still very early. I would say on that one, 65 to 75. You know, you could disagree and say, well, I think it's only 50. Well, keep your pants on. I wouldn't disagree, but I could also see a pilot wanting to pay 125. It all depends on proximity of where you're selling. The Mississippi Pearl ones, I paid 40 for this one. I paid 30 for this one. And I think I paid 10 for this one. I would say on this one, 175 to 225. I would say on this one, 150 to 175. And I would say on this one with the bezel set diamond, platinum backed on this one with gold top. I would say on that one, 200 to 225. And, you know, you might say for a single pearl, well, guess what? The production of Mississippi River pearls has been greatly affected by very many things. So there's not very many coming out. And I did some research on Mississippi River pearls years ago for a talk that I did for GIA and the National GIA alumni, and I did a presentation on unusual stones and antique jewelry, and Mississippi River pearls is something I'm very well known for, and I did a whole thing about one in every, I think it was like one in every 30,000 to 60,000 is round, you know, and able to be used in jewelry. So very rare occurrences. But then there's a pearl, supposedly back then when I did the research, there's a pearl in every 200 to 300 oysters or shells out of the Mississippi River. Some people say mollusks as well. So this one, the little bulldog, this one is fantastic. Here I get lost again. I'm so distracted in these videos. This is Japanese damascene. Years ago, that one would have been mixed metals, little gold feet on iron and silver. That one would have been years ago, maybe $35 to $45, and now this one's around $200 to $250 for that crane. The gold ones, let's see, I paid $80 for this one years ago. Now this one with this amazing enamel work and so fantastic with Limoges and then that chased and represent gold. Look how they left the raw gold be her outfit. They even bezel set a little mine cut diamond in her necklace. Look at the headdress and all that chased enamel work. Metal work, and then that enameling and that bright red and her Limoges painted face in perfect condition. I would say in that one, retail would be $400. Between $400 and $500 to an advanced collector. The little laurel wreath, so forgotten about. That one I paid $3 for. I would say around $95 to $125. The cat with the little glass eyes, I would say that's probably around $35 to $45. The Billiken in sterling silver, the same, $25 to $45. This is gold. The little front view dog is gold with diamond eyes. Dog jewelry collectors like myself go crazy for such things. That I paid $5 for at a yard sale. I would say that one on a good day would be around $250 to $275. This one's very unusual with these kind of chased and represent leaves holding that very very unusual pearl. And I would say on that one for Art Nouveau, that would probably be around 85 to 95. This one, about the same, 95 to 165. This is opal, and by Tiffany and Company. That's a free-formed opal. Look how they did this. It's signed down on the stem, Tiffany and Company, mounted in 18 karat gold. That one is Tiffany and Company with between $700 and $1,000. I sold one not as nice. This was an upgrade. I sold a smaller version, and it was Tiffany and Company, and I got $800 on eBay. So I'd say maybe that's a little more. Maybe that's $1,000 to $1,200 for that one. And then a front view Art Nouveau, again in 10 karat gold on this one. Art Nouveau stick pins are a little harder to find. I would say on that one probably 95 to 125. Look at me go for values. This one with the Yogo Gulch Sapphire, for sure, that's Montana Sapphire. How do I know? From experience. How do I know? From 30 years in the business. That's why I don't use gem testers, because they, what do I say? They're inaccurate. It's a tool, but it's not a tool that I would use. They'd be like, someone said to me, well, why don't you use Presidium? Why don't you use a gem tester of any origin or any maker? The reason why is it leads to a lot of problems. I've done my research through experience. I use a loop. I use my mind. And I've honed my skill. That's why I don't use them. I just recommend that if you're going to use them, you use them cautiously, because they lead to a lot of mistakes. There are a lot of mistakes. That one's gold and stylized. I just thought it was cute, you know? All right, so there we go for that tray. I'm sure I left out a ton of them you wanted me to talk about, but I'm never going to get through this. And then look, so you expect me to do all these trays and then all these bags? And these are just what I added over a year. But see, what happens is when I go to the flea markets, let me say this. When I go to the flea markets, for all of you who are still here and saying, why am I here again? You're here to take in the information as much as you can take in, as much as resonates with you. That's why I talk so quickly sometimes. It's because I feel like I have such limited time to get out all the information. So as I settle in and I settle down, these were like this one. This was $25. Here, I'll take these out of here. We'll do a little segue here because I want to regroup, and I want to explain why I feel this video is important, or why I think my videos are important, because they are different from every other video on YouTube, and I pride myself on this. This one is gold, so get this. This one was $25, and this is brass and sapphirite glass. Sapphirite. I always say sapphirite. This is sapphirite glass, and I've been around this glass for 30 plus years. I don't believe in fads because they come and go. Just like, you know, and I'll say this, you know, 6 months ago, I called the uranium glass craze. Is anyone really even still discussing uranium glass or glowing things on camera? No, because I called it. I said it's going to be done in 4 to 6 months. And I don't want to say I was right because that sounds terrible, but I was right. So this one was $38. Okay, I paid $20 for it. But all the rest of them were $5 each. So the person, although they, you know, Googled or whatever, found out that this was, you know, a collectible glass and decided to be cute and try and sell it for $38. I got it for $20. But then these were $5 each. So look what happened. These are all gold. These are all gold and gemstone. So what I'm saying is you can still buy from some of the people who are using online information to their quote advantage. But these are all 14 karat gold. Can you see there? The solder seams, the way they're constructed, and absolutely gorgeous. This is synthetic. That's a synthetic stone. That's an amethyst. And this one I've yet to check, but that could be, let me take a quick peek. That could be rock crystal. Could be quartz. So that's not a diamond, but it is an early faceted stone. A lot of times when they were finding these, they were finding pockets of stones that they once thought were diamonds. When they were mining for gold sometimes, they would run into different veins of stones, and they were considered specimens. So they would run, get them faceted. The miners would run and get them faceted and then mounted in a gold mounting. So they would find the gold nuggets, and then they would have these made into pins. And it's true. You want to talk about natural gold nuggets? Because people then say, are you sure about that? And I'll say, what's that? Besides a natural gold nugget from a miner back in the day. You know, one of those, you know, when I used to say in my videos, miner 49er, and I used to pull out my little monocle. I never really did that, but I wanted to. So, regroup. So that is, yeah, and I always say to people, can you imagine talking for 24 minutes, not pausing the video, standing on one leg like a flamingo? You should have seen me. I was just, for the last 15 minutes, I was standing on one leg. So, all right, look, natural gold nugget, likely from the Alaska or California gold rush. Probably on this one in style, it's probably California gold rush. Another pearl. So these, again, these range, let me take a look here. So this one in the center is demantoid. People say demantoid, I say demantoid. Demantoid garnet, green garnet, look like emeralds. They're not emeralds, they're demantoid garnet. Platinum topped gold. There was one of these on the roadshow, and you'll all know this because a lot of people here watch the Antiques Roadshow. And I was a guest on the Antiques Roadshow in Cleveland in 2002. I'm still trying to find the video footage. I know I have it on VHS. I know I have it on tape. My sister-in-law, she actually had it saved on her whatever that thing is. I don't know. I don't have a functional, flat screen TV. I don't watch TV, but she had it saved on her thing, whatever that is. I don't know what it is, Hulu or who knows what it is. I don't care what it is. Long story short. And I consider TV a waste of time because I would rather do this. This is an investment. TV's a time sucker. So this actually, one of these was on the roadshow, and it was valued between, I think it was like $7,000 and $10,000 because demantoid from Russia. Very, very unusual. Anyways, so outside of this one, the price band goes between, on the lowest end for what's on the tray, I would say about, let me make sure, about $25 on the lowest end, and on the highest end, excluding the green garnet turtle in platinum and gold, I would say probably, I would say around 400, around 400 to 600 would be on the higher end of that. So natural pearl here, Mississippi River. I'll just kind of leave it there for a minute and give my back a break. This is Mississippi River Pearl with a bezel set diamond. So just remember these when I bring the tray back up. A carved moonstone cameo, a carved opal cameo, both very early. This is a moonstone. This is a carved coral dog seated on the top of the stick pin. Garnets. Another Mississippi River Pearl with a sapphire, carnelian, absolutely beautiful carnelian, garnet, glass, saffret, and paste border, diamond, mixed metals, diamond and filigree. This one is glass. These are diamonds, and they're very, very unusual diamonds. So when I bring this up to take a closer look, you'll see diamonds in that one. Garnets in this one. This one, here's the weird thing, and not weird, but this is in gold, and I bought this at Hartville Flea Market. So watch this for increase in value. Let's do that little game. This one I paid $2 for. It's 14 karat gold and citrine. That's now $85. The pearl with the little diamonds on that 18 karat gold pin with bezel set diamonds and platinum, Mississippi River Pearl in incredible luster and color. Very blue in that. I would say that one's more like 300, about 300 to 350 because that's a natural pearl that is not cultured. I would say that one, I think I paid, see, I go back to the day I bought this, I think it was $18 or $20 because they didn't know it was gold. This one I paid $10 for. That is a natural Mississippi River Pearl and a bezel set diamond. That one is platinum topped gold, and that one's 14 karat gold on the stem. That would go for around $265 to $275. If you don't believe these prices, please go on eBay and reinforce my information. And eBay isn't the end-all, as I'll get into later this week with some Bakelite misinformation. So this is a Mississippi River Pearl and a very large version. They normally do not come this large with this kind of granular construction on the top. Bezel set diamond again. I would say in that one, boy, that's a good one. 250 to 265, maybe 275. Mixed metal B, I paid $5 for this one. I would say to an advanced stick pin collector like myself, we wouldn't be afraid to pay 300 to 350. Cabochon citrine 14 karat gold. I paid 65 and it's worth 95 to 150. This one's amethyst, and because of the oxidation, they sold it as brass. This was $1 at a thrift store. This one is gold and amethyst. That would be around 95 to 125. Sugar loaf cabochon, and that's technically a sugar loaf cabochon. Citrine in 10 karat gold or 14 karat gold. I paid $2 for this one, and that would be worth around, because of the quality of the stone, that'd be worth around $100. This one I paid $2 or $3 for. They sold it as rhinestone and sterling. This is platinum and diamonds. That would be around $300. The sword with this little tiny diamond in that enamel, that one's 14 karat gold, right at the turn of the century, 1900, 1910. That one would be around, I think to an advanced collector, $225 to $250. Seed pearls and opal as a fly. This one was $3 or $4 when I bought it. I would say, since it's gold and beautiful, that probably would be around, I would say that would probably be around $125. Same thing here with the clover. Same thing here with the horseshoe and the crop. Those are all kind of around the same price. This opal in 18 karat gold, very unusual to see an opal like that. It's got such great color. Orange body with that electric bluish green flash. I'd say on that one probably, probably 300 to 350. Hope you're playing along with me. This one is Georgian, so the top of this is earlier than Victorian. This is Georgian. I bought this at the flea market. I think it was either $5 or $10 from memory. Cut down sterling silver mounting, soldered down to 10 karat and 14 karat gold. I would say on that one, because the size of the diamonds, you'd be around $295 to $365. I'm just giving you some basic. This gold and woven gold with diamond-eyed snake has the chain and then this little gold cube. That's like the safety to this, to keep this pin from falling off. Woven gold down here, very finely woven gold. Little bezel set, diamond eyes, open mouth with little teeth and the tongue in there. Wonderfully modeled. Victorian, 1870. 1860, 1870, and I would say on that one, $395 to $450. Depends on where you buy these. This grape cluster, definitely Art Nouveau. Oops, I'm out of the frame. There we go. See, I'm glad I'm looking. A natural pearl with that enamel leaves. I'm not sure on the origin on the pearl on this. I'm not going to say Mississippi River because I'm not sure. Little diamond enamel there. I would say in 14 karat gold, you're at least $225 to $265. That I paid $8 for. This one I paid 50 cents for. That's just brass and a natural pearl, but still that's $35 all day long. This one, I don't remember where I bought this. I think that's converted from a gold coin. I think that's actually convert from a gold coin. That's probably around $235 to $255. Just guessing on that one. This one's moonstone in 14 karat gold, the cameo. That would be around $125 to $175. The opal would be more rare. It's higher karat gold, as you can see. Here's 14 karat, here's 18 karat. In that carving in natural opal, that's more like $350, between $350 and $450 on that one. Amethyst glass on the dog head, probably a marriage or probably made out of a small, who knows what, maybe that was a stopper in a bottle. But that is definitely a marriage there, or a creation, I should say. Later creation. Love Not with Diamond, 14 karat gold Victorian, 1890 on that one. These are a little easier to find, but that's an awful lot of gold. The diamond's beautiful. I would say on that one, $165 to $175. I think I've given enough values. I'm almost bored out of my mind doing that. Oh, and the natural gold nugget, because of the weight, because of the rarity, I would say that that one would be, oh boy, $350 to, no, that's too low. It's too low because that's a big one. $400 to $500. We'll leave it there. St. George, beautiful. So let's take a look at those. I'll just do the little drive-by so you can see them all up close. and then you can kind of replay those values in your mind. This one's very, very cool with those mixed cut stones, the mixed cut diamonds. There's the turtle as well, and you can see the whiplash inclusions of demantoid. You could see the horsetail inclusions in natural Russian demantoid. Can you imagine having that be worth $7,000? I could. And look at the little ruby eyes in the turtle. Look at the way that's created. And that was, like I said, one was like that on the roadshow. Oh, and I paid, see, I think I paid $60. I bought this at in a bundle at a pawn shop, and they said it was just emeralds. I thought, well, just emeralds, okay. Gold and platinum, all right. Turn of the century, I'll take it for 60 or 80. I still think today it's probably worth around 5,000. I think it's come down quite a bit. Not sure on the stone on this one. This is a specimen. Have to do some research on that. Could be in the sapphire family. Could be a couple different stones. But look at the sugarloaf. When I say, like, people say sugarloaf and they throw the term around, that's a sugarloaf. See how there's like paneled sides and it's still cabochon. So there's like 4 paneled sides that come up to a, like a soft tip, like cabochon. That's a sugarloaf. That's just a cabochon. So there's a difference. Sugarloaf, cabochon, normal cabochon. Normal cabochon, but faceted from behind. So cabochon with facets. Oh, let's go in on that. I said, look at the bluish flash in that one. So then people can say, oh, now I understand why the values are so high. Could you imagine finding an opal like that today for what I just mentioned? Probably not going to happen. There's a lot of value in older pieces of jewelry that we don't see the quality of the stones today. We don't see a lot of the quality of these things. 35 minutes in and I still have a whole nother tray to go. You know what I am going to do? I think I guess I could finish this tray. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure you saw, here, if you want to see this tray, go to my video a year ago. Just go back to the old video, and I can bring this back on. And this brooch in the center is from the late 1600s into the 1700s. It's from the Iberian Peninsula. It is the largest that I've ever seen in private holdings, but I'm sure there's a larger one out there in the world. But I've seen these a lot, and this is just incredible. That has, it's just incredible that has survived with these table cut rubies and a few garnets here and there. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to see these, I did talk about, there's another gold nugget, many more, American River pearls, I'll say that, intaglio, reverse carved, the cameo opal, free-formed, absolutely gorgeous. All right, so there you go. So if you want to see her, you're going to have to go back to that other video. So I don't think I added to this tray, but I know I added to those other trays. There's the artifact. See what I'm saying? They could have been much, much earlier. But see, an arrowhead collector would say, I don't want to look at stick pins. Well, then you missed this. You missed this amazing arrowhead that is an ancient arrowhead that it was, mounted in the Victorian times as a brooch and carefully mounted so they didn't ruin it. Look at that one for native gold. Look at that. It has more quartz, more crystal than it does native gold. You want to know a story on that one? I think I paid $1 because the lady said it was broken. She said it was a broken pin. It's not broken. It's a quartz specimen with natural gold running through it. Today a specimen collector would give me $300 for this all day long. I wouldn't sell it for that. Absolutely not. That's an amethyst. Look, I get distracted. But yeah, look. Oh my. Yeah, so you can get some real treasures. I guess why I show you this is there's a lot of money in these very small pins. I would say on that tray could be between, without the Iberian pin, factored into that tray, that's probably $8,000 in stick pins. And then look what I have found in a year. So look what I found in a year. I found these 3 bags within the last year of showing you those trays a year ago. It's insanity. And I think where these came in, let me just leaf through really quick and see if there's any standouts. But you know what we'll do? We will do. It's 38 minutes in. I have got to go pack eBay orders. I'm sorry. I will apologize. I can't do this today. So there's a limit to my time. We'll get into this bag, we'll get into this bag, and we'll get into this bag in a coming video. And you can already see what has happened. They sold these as costume. Do any of these look costume to you? Do any of those look like they're like silver or junk? Or, there's one that's sterling. And then the rest are all gold. You can tell by the color. So those were sold as nothings. These were sold as nothings. And these were sold as nothings. I think for the 3 bags, I'll have to figure it out. I paid less than $200 for all these stick pins. I paid less than $200. And I would say on a quick, like if these came across my desk at the auction house, I'd have exactly 15 seconds to say what they're worth. This is at least $500 to $600. This is probably $300 to $500, and this is probably $200 to $400 or $300 to $500. Those would be auction estimates. So look at that, $1,500 easy out of my investment of under $200. They're out there. Please go out and look. These things are amongst us. You can find them. I encourage you to do so. Please go forward with peace and kindness. Please share me out to other channels and other people in the business. And again, happy Sunday. I love you because I absolutely do.